he doesn't have a good Doom target, right? Like, the other 3 targets you're not going to be dooming. You are going to be going for DP and Sven, but their ultis, you know, you can pre-pop them, so can definitely see Iceberg sub for a little bit of that. They don't have great initiation on the side of Na'Vi either until they do have, let's say, like the blink on the Mars to get into the backline. I feel like Cyber Legacies is much more just naturally, it's just there from their heroes.
Well, let's find out. So we should be able to get this game underway pretty soon. Looks like the teams are just about ready for game 1 now between Na'Vi and Cyber Legacy. And so looking at some of the setup in the way that these lanes are going to go down, where sort of the difficulty is going to lie for either of these sides. Anybody sort of signing themselves up for a tough time in the first few minutes of this game?
I mean, it's a Night Stalker in the game, so, you know, those first 5 minutes, wherever lane he's going to be in is going to be pretty slow. So you imagine the TB should be able to get some fine farm down there. I guess the Willow and the Mars could look to apply a little bit of pressure onto the Sven. I think it's all just depending on how those lanes match up and how they really want to have them set up too, because Na'Vi can also put the Oracle versus the Grimstroke in this game to be able to go for those dispel plays on Inkswell.
Yeah, and is there sort of pressure on Cyber Legacy to play this one fast, or do you think just having the Sven, they do have this hero that is going to be able to scale against the TB in the late game?
I'd like them to play quick. I think I think
Navi's
draft just looks greedy to me. It's TB, Doom. These heroes take some time. Sure, Doom always gets his farm, but it feels greedy.
And on the high ground,
they're just
see the
walking
smoke from Cyber Legacy trying to come in. Bramble will catch on to the 3 of them. I don't know if Cyber Legacy is going to be able to still stick around and find anything as Na'Vi turn their attention over towards Big Num. They're going to put the meta for this, make sure they have the damage to get themselves this first blood. Is it enough? It is. The final last hit coming through there from Always Wanna Fly. Secures first blood for Na'Vi. Cyber Legacy trying for a cute little move there with the smoke, but Na'Vi actually ending up being in perfect position, ready and waiting on that high ground.
Yeah, as soon as they saw the 5 heroes, you know, they have a Night Stalker level 1. This hero does not. This hero doesn't do a whole lot. Clockwork also, when you run into 5 heroes, battery assault's pretty useless, so yeah, they immediately run. But that is, you know, that is meta used right off the bat, so that first wave is going to be a little bit harder for him, but he's still versus a Night Stalker, so he knows using it like that is fine.
See top as well, some good damage done onto General by Kuman and Slayer as they push him away from the bounty route.
3 runes for Na'Vi.
And so in this mid lane, the Iceberg Doom taken to the mid. I mean, how does this sort of go against the Death Prophet? I mean, I guess you're going to be able to hit the creeps quite nicely with your hard-hitting melee hits, but you're always going to be an easy siphon target, right?
Yeah, but I think you should just be able to get pretty good farm. As long as you don't just eat like crazy amount of harassments and make some big mistake, the wave should be pushed under your tower as a Doom.
Yeah.
And you'll just be able to farm with Devour. Usual fun Doom stuff. Magical should, I mean, it'll look really good on the last hits, right? He'll probably come out ahead on last hits, but on net worth, Iceberg will probably end up winning anyway.
And who's suffering more in the side lanes for the carries this game? The Kuman Sven or the V-Tune Terrorblade?
I think it would be Kuman, yeah. He's versus an actual pressure lane. Night Stalker Clockwork doesn't apply anything, and V-Tune has an Oracle behind him, so it's just like the best supporting cast.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Mars Willow definitely probably the best Mars combo to have in the laning stage. Very good setup to get angles for the Brambles into the spears.
Does just a lot of damage. Already. Look at Kuman.
Yeah, walking through a couple of the Brambles there with Kuman.
And might be able to get the side pull because of that. Yeah, they pushed it forward, and Roger's able to get the side pull there. That's huge.
Yeah, very nicely done by Na'Vi. What sort of the regen state?
Ooh. The Grimstroke actually, Slayer got the nuke on it. There you go, look at that tip from Roger. He pulled it back.
All right.
Very nice.
Yeah, nice little snipe there from Slayer.
But
Kuman does step back forward though, and he's dead. He is dead there. Slayer also going to take a lot of damage as General is blocking him off. Slayer will land the stun, of course, but no damage there to actually kill General. And Kuman just not being careful enough. The level 2s are there, they have the burst, and steps into another Bramble maze.
Yeah, it's crazy amount of burst damage that can come out between these two if you get caught. You're always going to get caught inside the Brambles too, like that with Spear.
Not an easy lane whatsoever for Kuman to farm in.
Nope.
Well, it was a big relief that they did actually able to grab that wave, as you said. If they hadn't, you would be quite far behind.
Yeah, and
the other lanes.
They did block the pull as well too. We did see from Na'Vi, so there is no pull available for Slayer. So he has to just play this lane heads up, which hurts even more.
And then bottom, V-Tune things could continue to go as you say, just without any major interruptions from the Night Stalker, the Clockwork. Not a lot of pressure being put onto V-Tune at all. Very happy to be here right now. Down bottom, and then mid lane, pretty even. Magical is able to get a few more denies in against Iceberg, as Iceberg is he's on the hunt for something to eat, and is going to be able to find an Ogre Frost Mage. So
very nice.
That does mean he's out of the mid lane for a full wave, so we'll have that entirely denied against him.
Actually missing out on the entire thing there, but he's still.
That was a lot of XP gone.
Yeah, he's half a level behind now, just about. See the net worth though, he is. He's actually also a little bit behind on net worth too, so okay, pretty good.
Bottom. And V-Tune just able to free farm even without the need to use the meta. He's able to save that for any type of aggression that the Cyber Legacy do go onto him. So incredibly comfortable place for him to be. And up top, they're doing it again. This lane, it's not going to get easier for Cyber Legacy. They're going to be able to keep doing this between the two of them.
Oh boy.
I mean, Dark Will and Mars, General and Roger, they're doing it very nicely. I mean, these two as well, very proficient on the heroes. And it really is just a dream lane match. For them two to play with.
Yeah, it's a pretty weak lane, and it's an Orb of Venom now too on the Mars too, so Kuman even takes much more damage, and he's just dead.
I mean, they're crushing it. They're absolutely crushing it, these two. They're just utilizing the heroes perfectly. I mean, 4 minutes in, 3-0-1, 4 kills in this lane already. They are destroying this top lane of Cyber Legacy.
Yeah, and your Terrorblade's not going to be pressured at all during this laning start here. It's going to be 5 minutes soon, and we'll see what Blizzy's able to actually do pressuring, but...
I mean, how do you sort of help this top lane out? I mean, obviously, eventually, Kuman, he's going to be able to go jungle with the cleave, but still just slow leveling here from the pressure and the way that he's been bullied out the lane a couple of times with those 2 deaths. It's just going to be such a slow start for this Sven, and whilst things remain as this 2v2 between them, it's just not going to get any easier. The struggle will continue for Kuman.
Yeah, if anything, it'll just get worse and worse as those levels 2 build up. Yeah. Roger just gets that much stronger. He starts to get Cursed Crown points too. They have more chain stun. The pull is now available, finally, for Slayer. So we'll be able to at least reset that back and get themselves some much needed levels. And nighttime hits. So Blizzy, let's see what he's able to accomplish, if he's able to actually slow down the Terrorblade's farm at all, because it still doesn't feel like he is able to, even with this Knight.
Just having that Oracle ready to go. Just things as small as the Fortune's End to hold back the Night Stalker a little bit.
Looks like they're going to make
harder to dive.
A heavy rotation mid. 3 heroes mid with Exorcism, take advantage of the fact that Doom's just jungling, try to take this tower.
I mean, what's the reaction going to be here from Na'Vi? Do they just let this happen, or do you try and push them off this?
Either set up for kills in the side lanes, or just bring like 4 heroes, but I think they might just let this one die. Yeah, he's gotten the wave pulled, though.
Yeah, it's going to slow down a little bit. Use the fortification, though, to keep their wave alive, Cyber Legacy. Between the Ghost and the Siege Creep. Should find this Magical taking a bit of damage. Iceberg maybe looking for an opportunity to get in onto Magical. Of course, with the Exorcism about to come to the end, he knows there's going to be a huge amount of heals coming in. Tower is in deny range, though, so Iceberg might actually be able to find this tower deny if he wants to. He's still hovering around. I mean, he doesn't want to go for it yet. Wants to try and bait Cyber Legacy in to try for the last hit. Roger's here, hiding in the trees.
Ooh, nice deny by Iceberg.
I'm saying it doesn't look like Cyber Legacy are going to try and overcommit to get the last hit on this tower. So they'll hold it for now, but if they wish to deny it, the option is there for Na'Vi.
I mean, Na'Vi doesn't need to do anything, really. Like, everything's going perfect for them. They're able to, like we said, V-Tune's just free farming. Now they're starting to kind of collapse around him, so he might get out of the bottom side of the map.
Let's see what they can find. That's just going to be popped straight away. And look towards Always Want to Fly, but he holds back the clock with the root. Slayer coming in from the side with the Stroke of Fate. It's not enough damage. Always Want to Fly is able to step back and survive. And with the 3 heroes down and still during this night time, it just seems to be that they don't have the firepower to actually get the kills on these heroes.
That's a concern. These supports are really suffering. Bignum level 3, Slayer is at least level 4, but this is a Clockwork that has had pretty much no impact right now. Yeah, try for mid. Oh, he's actually going to get the tower.
Oh, yeah. That's I mean, Roger did start to deny it earlier, but didn't actually finish off the job. So, okay. Lovely bit of money here for Cyber Legacy to be found, and they're going to get the kill by looks of it onto the Doom unless he's speedy enough to run away. The Battery Assault will get it. The kill's there. Na'Vi will, by the looks of it, find Big Num in return with the Shadow Realm and the Cursed Crown. Big Num will get popped, but all things said and done, Cyber Legacy, it's a tower kill and a kill on Iceberg.
I can't believe they forgot to finish off the deny on the tower.
Yeah, well, I was surprised they left it up.
V2 immediately goes top during all that exchange, though, and he will be able to get a tower trade too. Isn't the mid tower, but pretty damn good one anyway.
So instantly with this haste through Magical's charging towards the bottom.
Ooh, he might actually be able to set up for this tower too. Don't believe the Na'Vi can defend this either.
Yeah, they might just have to let it go. So, I mean, this is what you said you wanted to see, right, when you have Cyber Legacy. You have this line. This is the dream start for a Death Prophet. You know, you're 8 minutes in, and you're on the verge of taking a second tier 1 tower. You couldn't be playing to your timings any better.
No, you're playing into, like, 0 wave clear. So, if Na'Vi's not set up with heroes, you know you're going to be able to take it very quickly and always want to fly. Get spotted. Quick, easy kill. And this tower is dead.
Really opening the map up with these early towers being taken by Cyber Legacy.
They need the map
Giving
open,
space
though.
for the Sven.
Yeah, Kuman really needs it. He's very slowed down this game. The Terrorblade already 1,000 above him. And TB can match the farm rate of a Sven, even when he is farmed. So, you're going to see V2 stay ahead of him for quite a long time here.
I mean, now that they're down 2 tier 1s, you've got to imagine that Na'Vi's not going to let Cyber Legacy get away with any sort of other towers being taken. They're definitely going to have to respond now if any of the tier 2s start to get poked or they come in for that top tier 1 push Cyber Legacy.
Yeah, they'll have to have Na'Vi will have to have General set up in position if there is a tower start to get pressured, and then have the other heroes TP in. He can't be the one that TP's in, really. He has to already be there, as we will have this first nighttime end.
And for General as well, do you feel that they need to see him get the blink first this game? Does he have to be that initiator, or are you sort of building up the auras for the team?
Let's see. I think the blink can work, because then they don't have a natural initiator if he doesn't have it, and it's all just about your TB. So if he can just make a distance between the enemy team and his TB, it's everything. So I think just blink Vlads is fine.
There we have it. Smoke up from Na'Vi. They want to try and get something done with Iceberg having the phase drums complete.
Okay.
As well as, of course, Doom ready to drop. Looking to strike during this daytime as well. As Blizzy is alone down bottom, but for the most of their smoke, they haven't really managed to move too much outside of their half of the map. Iceberg is now starting to head down bottom, but Blizzy seems aware that something's going on. He's already backing off behind the tower.
He saw the obs get placed. He has a sentry there, so even though they're smoked, he sees that one. It's fresh. He knows exactly where they are.
But this is not easy.
Cyber Legacy making the move.
Yeah, they realized that, as you said, with that information down bottom. They're looking to try and make a play onto General whilst they know that he's alone. Silence will catch him. He's trying to run, but Big Num finds him with the hook shot. General is trapped. He's going to lay down the arena, but there's no play for General to turn this one around as he'll fall. The arena does at least hold Big Num in position for a little bit of time, but not long enough to allow the rest of Na'Vi to close in on them. So smart moves there from Cyber Legacy, making some action happen as soon as they got the information.
Na'Vi, too slow to react to be able to kind of help out their buddy there. I think if they were a little bit quicker with those TPs, maybe. But a good read. And that sentry placement down bottom pretty much gives away everything. So Cyber Legacy able to get this farm that they need. Sven, Kuman, able to catch back up nicely.
Deny of the read from Magical, but Magical's still holding on to the Arcane Arena. He will have it pop now. It would be very nice if they're able to do something with the Exorcism whilst he has this buff. Do have the Dark Ascension ready to go if they want to try and get aggressive with Blizzy on the front lines. On RV General, few hundred gold, and the Blink Dagger's going to be done. So they're going to have that solid jump.
they just need something to be able to start fights, like we were saying. It's very hard for them to, unless they just walk into them with the Mars in the front line.
And they're gonna try, just before he has the blink done, just to see if they can catch him off guard with the smoke. But look at this positioning. Slayer, he's ready for it. Just sitting there on the high ground. Oh, looks a bit, may die for this. I mean, I say that, he's actually going to get the chance to get his full spells out. He's able to turn, get the Soulbinder out onto Vincere and Roger. The silence as well from Magical catches onto the three of them. Hook shot in, and the Cogs, it blocks off the escape for Na'Vi. They cannot get out of this. The Terrorize does push back two of them, but on top of the Terrorblade remains Slayer and Kuman chasing Vincere down. Roger's going to head in with a Bedlam. It's not enough damage to kill off Slayers. Roger loses his life. Cyber Legacy continuing to chase. Can they find Vincere? Blizzy flying over. He's got the slow with the Void. They'll turn with the Sunder. Is it enough to keep him alive? There. It is. They'll allow themselves to kill off the Night Stalker. Vincere, he's going to commit with the Metamorphosis. Always want to fly, keeping him safe with the heals. Magical turning over towards this big old Doom with the Siphon, but Iceberg's able to live long enough to cut down Slayer. The spear connections there onto Bignum, driving him into the tree. They're able to turn it around, Na'Vi. They keep Vincere alive. He's able to help himself with the Sunder, and the combination of always want to fly, protecting him. And Cyber Legacy actually end up chasing just for a little too long, as at the start of that all on their own high ground. It looks to be a great way of Cyber Legacy responding to Na'Vi's smoke.
Yeah, somehow a bizarre series of events somehow makes it that Na'Vi ends up winning the fight. They did end up wasting the Doom, though. The Sven was able to disengage right afterwards, but they will at least get some tower damage. Even, actually.
It's Vincere cleaning up. That fight is pretty much given. So already that first way to play against these hard silences like that of the Death Prophets.
That was weird how it all kicked off too, right? Like they're like 100 gold from the blink on general. It's not bounty rune spawning or anything. They just really wanted to press in and make a fight happen, I guess, because there's no spell. One of the spells wasn't up. Not too sure. It's interesting.
It's a straight up aggression. I mean, I imagine
it is daytime,
to catch them off guard. It is now, now with the Dark Ascension. I mean, he's got to back up in 20 seconds, so we'll have the availability to respond.
They're doing it maybe because it was daytime, because right now it's going to kick into night, so now it's like night for 5 minutes, so I guess maybe they were just really trying to do something, right?
I mean, now they've definitely got the tools to. There is that blink on general. They have got that jump.
So much more.
They've got that set up, and Vincere with the Manta. Next up, of course, the Scardies, what he's looking towards. They've got lots of ways to sort of commit in onto Cyber Legacy on the front and make space for the Terrorblade to stand his ground and hit back. Still, there's the minutes past. Kuman, he's recovering his game very nicely after a very tough start in that top lane. He's still just 1k gold behind the Terrorblade, you know, sort of a fight away from taking over this game.
Vincere actually TP's all the way to base. What the?
Oh, was it? Was he picking up something? Or?
No, him and Always Want to Fly just TP'd out from top, like together, hand in hand. I think Always Want to Fly made a call.
Panicked.
No, they're looking for a fight. Okay, they're looking for the fight with Doom and with Meta. It was just weird the way that they TP'd and then just stood still in the fountain for 10 seconds together.
He's just having a breather, having a bit of a break.
Blizzy.
This should be pretty easy kill there. Easy setup for general.
They used the Meta though. I feel like he could have just saved the Meta.
Yeah, that was not required. They didn't need that extra amount of damage for that kill. Maybe they were worried that there'd be more than just...
I mean, they're going to be able to run mid and
down there?
beat on the tower, but it's going to be halfway by the time they even get there, and we might see Cyber Legacy actually put on a fight because of that. That's a bit interesting.
Well, let's see. Let's see if Cyber Legacy want to turn up for this. They have got the Exorcism, not quite level 2 on the ult though, Magical. Just the level 1. Tier 1 will fall to the damage of V2.
Okay, so it ends up being, it ends up being fine as long as they don't go into a fight like in the next minute or two around V2. If they fight around the rest of them, it's just fine for him to use the meta there anyway. And this is a game where Scotty is just, it's like the end all be all. It's so good this game versus the Death Prophet and Sven. The kiting, the HP, the heal removal as well and everything too. It's just such a damn good pickup if he's able to get it in this one.
Imagine this downtime without the meta is going to be back to full farm for V2. Cyber Legacy, as we said, with their lineup, maybe still a bit of pressure to get the job done early. They have got level 12 now, Magical. After the Yules, BKB is just an ogre club into it right now. But they're going to try and do something. They want to keep the pressure up. They know that in this passive play, the Terrorblade and Doom, they are going to be able to outfarm the two cores that Cyber Legacy have. So Cyber Legacy, they've got to find some action. Yeah,
trying to take advantage of that meta being on cooldown here for sure. And okay, they're going to make the way into the Roche.
All right, with the Ghost, they
have this.
They'll have this very quickly. No way of Na'Vi getting over here in time, and no idea by the looks of it that it's even going to be happening. As a very quick Roshan with the commitment of the God Strength and the Exorcism. The man grabs the Aegis.
Now they have no team fight though if Na'Vi does look for a fight here in the next few moments. They have literally nothing. That is all of their fight. Na'Vi has a lot of team fight too, especially coming into with such a good front line with the Doom having a BKB on top of that drum so early.
And now with the timings, Vincere, he's got meta back up in less than 20 seconds. They're trying to catch Magical. Fear pushing him back. Not quite any other way to hold him in place. So not able to get the jump there as they would wish, but definitely a high chance that Na'Vi, maybe without Vincere, I mean, Vincire's also going to be happy passively farming up the Skadi. It's about 2,000 gold to go, and it will be there. Looking at the progress from Kuman. How's he doing? Yasha into the BKB by the looks of it. A couple hundred gold, and he will have that BKB ready to fight with.
He really needs it. If he doesn't have BKB this game, there's so much control, so many things he has to deal with. He'll have that finished up any moment now.
Just a bit of a waiting game once more for Cyber Legacy. No interest in doing anything without the Exorcism.
Yeah, it's also it's tough for them to fight too. Just walking in through the bruisers, like General and Iceberg are always the frontliners, so it's always tough for them to actually get their spells off nicely. Bignum, you can see, is very hesitant to hook shot in.
I'm being careful now, of course, during these few moments of nighttime. Still, they'll show themselves top.
They got the blink now on Blizzy, so he can actually get into those backlines and get the silence on Always Wanna Fly and just really mess with the whole fight. This is a fight they're going to take.
There we go. Blizzy leading the way. Who's he going to be able to get the jump on? But he's been scanned. Na'Vi hits him with the scan. They know what's up. Hook shot.
Get General.
Dude, but he's actually able to... He's just picked it up. Just got the Force Staff, and it will save his life. Out of the cogs he goes, and he is away.
Love it. That's actually so good that he goes for it for himself. He doesn't have anyone else that was, so they actually do have a way to break away from Bignum.
I mean, yeah, this Force Staff is it's just pretty big against multiple things, right? Not just the hook shot, the cogs, but very nice to sort of buy you time away from the silences that are closing in on you from the Night Stalker and the Death Prophet. It's 20 minutes in, 9-4. Not the most of kills we've seen this game, but Na'Vi leading the way right now with a 3k advantage. As the slowdown in play, I think the biggest hit you're seeing it have is on Magical's net worth. You know, without sort of consistent objective taking and kills to be found, this Death Prophet is going to fall considerably behind the farm of the Iceberg Doom. It's bottom.
Cool, man.
Kuman, he's going to commit and pass the tower. He's going in with the BKB, but there's the ult. They're going to be able to save General with the false promise. Always Wanna Fly gets it off in time before Blizzy's on top of him. Blizzy does still manage to find him, but Roger, he's got the Terrorize. It pushes the two of them back. They can't finish off Always Wanna Fly. They're going to lose Blizzy under the tower. Kuman throws in another stun, but he's so low. He's got to be careful. Iceberg's going to try coming in, charging straight for them. Vincire's found Slayer off to the side. The stun will hold back the Terrorblade for now, but the Smith pushes Slayer to the side. They finish off a second. Cyber Legacy a little scrappy there, committing behind the tier 2 tower. Na'Vi quick to respond, and some very nice moves there between the supports. Always Wanna Fly getting that clutch false promise off, and of course that follow-up Terrorize from Roger, just immediately putting an end to the play that Cyber Legacy was trying to make.
They were actually trying to react to help out their Sven. Kuman was playing too far, and General actually speared him back behind the tower, so his whole team was in panic mode trying to save him there. So that's how that all kicked off, kind of scary there for them. And yeah, V-Tune doesn't have to pop the meta. He's now got the Skadi finished up already. They're in such a good spot on the side of Na'Vi, it feels.
Yeah. It does feel tough at the moment for Cyber Legacy, and I think a lot of it just down to the matchups of these heroes as it goes on. We are just still 22 minutes in, and you know, we saw at the beginning of this, Cyber Legacy were able to find these really quick towers. You know, tier 1 mid, tier 1 bottom, taken within the first first 9 minutes. But since that point onwards, it's just been very hard for Cyber Legacy to actually find any action that benefits them. They've only got the 4 kills, and those sort of 4 kills happen very early on now. They're starting to be nothing more than a distant memory. As Na'Vi, they're taking over the map. They're getting away with these tier 2 towers. No response from Cyber Legacy. They're just trying to set up for the trade themselves, looking for the tier 2 down bottom. But Na'Vi, if they want to, they can respond and fight. Not just the Skadi, he's got the Grove bow too. And he's actually thinking about just getting straight up damage online after the Manta Skadi. I mean, he feels that, you know, with just these 2 items, he can go for this DPS build because he knows with the Oracle will have always want to fly backing him up. He's going to be pretty safe in these fights. They've got excellent team fight around the Terrorblade.
Yeah, I'm fine with either Daedalus or Butterfly in this game. I think both of them have their merits. Both going to be super good for the damage in either situation. As they're smoked, they're looking for this fight here, and they're unbelievably strong right now.
A full Shiva's Guard.
Shiva's now too, yeah. Courier flies over, so they're even more aware of the fact that all of Cyber Legacy is down here on the low ground as...
Let's see what sort of jump General can get.
Heading
over, Iceberg gets the Doom straight down onto Kuman. Kuman needs help, but there's no sort of help that's going to help him. He gets the damage from Vincere over to the side as well. General catches Slayer in the arena. The rest of Cyber Legacy will get out of there, but of course Slayer will fall. 2 quick kills for Na'Vi. TP out just in time, made there by Magical. But it's still just Na'Vi making these moves, owning the map. And it just, I mean, Cyber Legacy, they just cannot get any sort of move going. It really does seem impossible for them to do anything right now with the way that Na'Vi's just constantly sweeping the whole entire game. Vtune's just staying consistently at the top, and he's only getting further ahead now. Kuman, for the most part, was managing to keep up, but he's falling behind, and it's just very hard to imagine what sort of impact the Sven's going to be able to have in these fights, because the last few times, he's ended up just falling over at the front of it all.
Yeah, I mean, it really does feel like it's going to be impossible for them to really set up in any of these fights if they don't just catch Na'Vi completely off guard. Because Na'Vi, they have this incredible front line, and Vtune is just always... He's just having the freest game ever. He's up to 16,000 net worth, level 17. Like, he's just... You know, this is just one of those games where you're terribly just has to play terribly. He doesn't have to do anything too crazy. Your team is just this blanket for him.
I mean, we see again, you know, Cyber Legacy, they're out with the smoke. It's been scanned out. Bigdom does still manage to find the hooks onto General, but he's out with the cogs with the 4-star. They are still going to try and chase down General. Are they going to respond to this Na'Vi? They're going to let General die. Looks like they're going to let him fall. Nobody coming over to help, so they will manage to find the Mars. You have the wave pushing in as well on top, so can use this to set up for another tower as well. So finally, Cyber Legacy with these constant moves, trying to find something. They finally get something. And it will allow them to get this tower.
Small, slight gain, but you do see Na'Vi, it's not like they're losing anything out of it. They made that call to not go up there because Vtune didn't have his meta, they didn't have Doom. So they're just farming those sides and getting something similar out of the map anyway, even though they did lose their Mars.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
We'll see what Cyber Legacy can do after this. Still, of course, having the exorcism and the moments of nighttime.
God, it really just feels so scary because I'm seeing this Death Prophet moving around so slow from lane to lane. Just BKB Yule, sure you have plate mail and all that, but I feel like she's just gonna get eviscerated if she gets caught in a single disable. There's no saves. That's usually what I like to see when I see Death Prophet picked up, is some type of save mechanic. There's just nothing for him besides just a glimmer, I guess, on the Grimstroke.
Cyber Legacy, they're keeping themselves held over on Na'Vi's triangle. General always want to fly, waiting around mid, see if the move's to be made. The line's been drawn from Magical to sweep around into that mid lane. Still just waiting here by looks of it for any members of Na'Vi to step up to the high ground, but Na'Vi's not falling foul to the trick.
They see these two show. Yeah. General might start peeking over now, though, that they have these items finished up. BKB is done on Terrorblade.
Iceberg's going to go in. He's just going to go straight in over towards Blizzy. Exorcism does come out in response. Magical, he's happy to take this fight, but Na'Vi, they've seen the ghosts out. They could just look to disengage and wait this ult out.
Oh, no. Oh, Cyber Legacy, this is so... this is such a rough spot.
And Na'Vi just waiting on the sidelines whilst that Exorcism was being used. I mean, Iceberg, like I say, waiting. He's ready to go straight in. He's running in, looking for Slayer. Slayer will actually manage to TP out in the trees there. They don't find him in time. So he'll get away, but definitely that painful timing. It's 100 seconds, no
Radiant's top
exorcism.
tower is under attack.
I've been struggling to find any sort of good fight with the exorcism. Now without it once more, it just feels like such a tough game for them to play. And both cores, the Magical DP and the Kuman Sven, have just not been having a good game.
No, they have not.
Dire's middle tower
And it just
is under
progressively
attack.
gets harder and harder for both of these heroes, especially, like I said, with no save with Death Prophet. There's just so many things that she can just get popped by, especially with such a hard-hitting Terrorblade just continuing to get more and more. They're just giving him everything. Just give him all the
He's
farm.
huge.
Doom naturally farms from Devour, and you don't need items on the rest of your heroes. The Terrorblade
Yeah.
is enough for you.
I mean, look at the Chrysalis, and now after he picked that up, he's got a full BKB.
Yeah.
Getting very close to the point that Na'Vi, they win one team fight, they're going to be up to the high ground and taking barracks with this Terrorblade.
I'm just like envisioning the fights of like this Terrorblade just having this Doom and this Mars in front of him,
Radiant's
and him
bottom
just
tower
beating
is
on
under
this Sven and
attack.
Death Prophet with such high damage, and
Yeah.
they just don't have ways to get to him. And now
No.
with BKB, just it doesn't matter. Like they hookshot him in, the Night Stalker commits, it doesn't matter.
And even if they do get on top of him, there's a high chance that Vtune is going to be saved by the False Promise.
Yep.
He's going to get the chance to Sunder, and Roger's going to be there with the Terrorized, sending whoever's on top of him straight away from the Terrorblade.
Yep.
It's a
20
very
seconds
hard
till Exorcism. They're trying to at least get a read and scare Na'Vi out of the pit a bit here, because Vtune has not popped the Metamorphosis to kill the Roche. Doesn't have lifesteal either. It's a bit awkward.
Taking a bit of a hit from it. And they are going to respect the potential jump from Cyber Legacy around the pit to try and bait out action as they wait on the high ground. They'll come in with the smoke.
It's spotted
See
though.
what sort of it was. That deep ward from Cyber Legacy that they placed earlier did clip the edge of Na'Vi going for this play. The scan
getting
out
the
as well
high
just to
ground.
confirm which angle they're coming in for. Bignum's going to head in to try and dispel the smoke. He's actually going to go in with a hook shot. Blizzy comes in over the high ground using the ult, but he's up in the air from the Yules, and now with the BKB, Vtune, he's just holding his ground. Kuman does manage to take down the Oracle. Vtune turning his attention over towards Magical. Look at this damage. And with
He's
the
just
Doom
eating
down,
them.
there's no hope for Magical. Magical's out. Iceberg jumps across, forcing Kuman back. This Terrorblade is so farmed right now. Cyber Legacy just cannot deal with him. Even there, they knew exactly from what angle Na'Vi was coming in from, but they still lose the fight. Na'Vi's back into Roshan, and with the remainder of this Metamorphosis, they'll get themselves the Aegis and Cheese. Cyber Legacy just cannot get anywhere closer.
Oh, Kuman too.
He's going to get trapped by the arena. Iceberg finds him, General's in, locks him down with the Spear, and he is able to jump out with a pretty cute play with the Aghanim Stormhammer, and that will actually save him. So nice move there from Kuman. Slayer on the low ground, giving the vision of the neutral as Slayer, they're sort of toying around with him there. Iceberg and General tips out between the two of them as they play around with their food a little bit before swallowing it whole.
Both of them wanted the last hit. I love when I see that. But yeah, we see there exactly like just a perfect positioning, of course, from Na'Vi, but you see that Vtune, he can just hold his ground. Even with, Ice Armor was thrown on him there too, but he just holds his ground. Death Prophet ult gets popped for like a couple seconds or whatever it was, but there's just no damage. This Terrorblade is just, he's a monster.
No, and after sort of Magical's used the Yules, the BKB, it doesn't really do much for him at all. He's still just dead anytime he's anywhere close to Iceberg and Vtune. Now 10k lead for Na'Vi, and as expected, a solid team fight when they're up to the high ground. They're ready to start threatening the base of Cyber Legacy.
Yep, full data list now for Vtune, so he was already hitting real hard.
Dire's middle tower
Throwing a bit more. God's Strength is up in a second. Exorcism as well.
And they're getting
Are
this
they gonna
much done
try?
without having Metamorphosis. They don't even need it. Vtune's at that point where he can just step up and start punching away at the barracks at melee range. And Cyber Legacy, what can they do? They have the full lineup up. They've got to do something. They're going to try it. Silence Hounds, two backlines. It's a deep hook shot. Blizzy and Bignum trying to find the support.
Got General.
They bring Vtune down low. They'll get him the once. Can they get anything more from this? Blizzy held back by the Cursed Crown, as Vtune has been heavily separated from the rest of the team. He's going to put the BKB, go for the TP out. He'll make it away. The rest of Na'Vi trying their best to escape, but Roger will be caught, or is he? He's into the Shadow and tries for the TP out, but Bignum's got the pushback with the cogs. TP will be cancelled. Cyber Legacy able to punish Na'Vi, get 2 kills, but wasn't before the melee racks did get finished. So Na'Vi, they may have a couple of casualties, but still, they continue to gain something against Cyber Legacy.
And they got the Terrorblade out with that BKB TP, which is huge. That was a really nice play there from Blizzy. He got the perfect wrap around. 3-man silence to start up the fight with the follow-up silence from Magical. But like you said, yeah. Rax is dead, TB gets out, your big cores are the ones that actually survive. And you're going to go running right back at them. The respawns are up, and you know, no exorcism, no god strength. Your lanes aren't in the best position right now, though, but they're just looking for a fight.
Yeah, you've got Metamorphosis good to go. You know, something that wasn't even... You didn't even have the chance to use in that last fight.
Yeah.
So Na'Vi more than ready to go straight back in with the action. Vincere bringing in the mid lane with his illusions.
General pushing bottom, and they'll probably meet him down there. Yeah. Full AC almost done on Iceberg, too. He's just, like we said, you know, it's Doom. He has a Devour talent. He's going to get gold naturally.
And General with that Lotus also, just extra protection for V-Tune or himself or Iceberg, whichever hero finds himself on the front lines. As this tier 2 will not be held onto by Cyber Legacy. It's going to have to come down to another high ground defense or some sort of smoke movement to try and get the wraparound on RV outside of the base. But as we saw, you know, there is potential from them getting to the supports of the back lines, but it does feel that it's these sort of plays, they're just coming out a little too late. They needed to go for these team fights earlier. See what they have mid on. They're going to force out the BKB. Kuman has to pop it to keep himself safe. So now Na'Vi able to push him with the knowledge there's no BKB on this Sven, and with that in mind, as you mentioned, just the lack of backup, the lack of sort of saving heroes that Kuman has behind him. Kuman's going to have to be so careful about committing. In fact, General, he's found the jump. He's straight in onto Kuman. A beautiful initiation with Arena, locking the three of them in. Vincere pots the ult as he turns straight over towards Magical, holding his ground with his meta, claims the double. Magical getting forced all the way back towards the fountain. Kuman with the buyback does manage to get one, but look at the damage.
He's just gone.
They just kill him off. They do lose the Terrorblade. Yeah, so Cyber Legacy, they are getting some kills from this. Did cost them the dieback from Kuman Sven, but they are cleaning up some members of Na'Vi. You'll set to there to stop the TP out from Always Wanna Fly. It is a defense. They are able to push back Na'Vi, but it does cost the 2 lives of the Sven.
Yeah. If the Sven is able to somehow survive, maybe, after, like, before they get the TB, but yeah, it ends up not being so worth it, and it ends up not being so big of a deal. Oh, they're actually going for Magical with these two.
Did not expect them to still be outside of the base, waiting for him, and Magical's got BKB in 2 seconds. So we'll be able to live. He's actually going to try starting to run down Roger. The Bramble holds back Magical. Maybe with Blizzy coming in, they can close in on this. They have the Yules. He's going to have the self-Yules. He's going to be able to get the blink out in time. He's not. Silence down as well as the damage. They'll find Roger.
Ooh, nice little... That Lotus Orb for Magical, 100% saving his life there. He was going to get Curse Crown and burst. But going for that item for himself, actually paying dividends. So some small signs of life, but yeah, like you said, Kuman dying back, and he's going to be dead for 30 seconds, even when the Terrorblade does respawn.
Yeah, and it's just the fact that with that gold expended and lost from the deaths, his item progression, it's just too slow in comparison to this Terrorblade. You see after those last for a few moments, it's a full Daedalus on V-Tune, as well as having 3,000 gold in the bank ready to start going into that full Satanic. So V-Tune's game just continues to look solid, whilst Kuman's is just incredibly hard. 36 minutes in, 4, 5, and 2 as the carry Sven. It's just not been an easy game for him. Mid lane.
Mid.
Lizzie.
Forced the BKB. Yeah, it's feeling just harder and harder. Yeah, this Terrorblade's going to be getting the Satanic done, and like, if he does have this finished in those situations, he won't die. He'll be able to just lifesteal fully back, and he'll have time for his team to actually help out. And yeah, they're ready to go again.
Dyer's middle barracks.
It's going to get some time to play with the DD in the meta. Looking at this, these timings.
Oh boy.
Yeah, 400 gold on Satanic.
Yep.
Yeah, it's creep wave away from having it for this high ground siege. Just 36 minutes in, 26,000 net worth on V-Tune's Terrorblade.
Oh boy. Yeah, when he has it, he's actually unkillable. Unless he's just fully isolated by 5 heroes. I really do feel like he's going to be unkillable. As all 3 lanes pushing in. Cyber Legacy trapped in the base. More armor items coming out for Magical. He now has another plate mail on top of that Lotus Orb. Kuman, though, he does not have much armor. I mean, he's already kind of like out of it in this game, but whenever he pops Mask of Madness, too, he's sitting at like 8 armor versus a Terrorblade with a Daedalus.
And it's just the fact that the Terrorblade not only does so much against him, but in terms of offensive, but the defensive, of course, as well, just the armor that V-Tune has, meaning that at this stage of the game, just with sort of Chrysalis being your only real damage item, it's just not going to cut it. It's not going to do anything against the TB.
What's the BKB duration too? It's 7 seconds on the Sven. They're looking
I'm
for
gonna
a
try
smoke. They're
jump
looking to
it.
catch him.
Let's see if they can burst. If he's getting low, but the false promise is out. He's able to put the BKB. V-Tune is able to stand his ground. Sunder brings him back up to full HP. The Doom from Iceberg dropped down onto Magical. They've killed off the Clockwork. They're running down the
Still
TP,
almost
but
dead.
He has the movement speed to cut to the side. V-Tune, he's turning. The lifesteal, the fear, the terrorize from Roger, pushing back Kuman, allowing V-Tune to once again stand his ground in the fight. Pick up a second, pick up a third. Triple kill for him. There's 3 dead on Cyber Legacy, none of them with the buyback available. Magical outside of the base, he'll be cleaned up as well. 4 dead and out of the game as Na'Vi up to the high ground they go. A second set of racks to be taken, and almost certainly more now as they're 17k ahead. And they just didn't have enough power to bring down this Terrorblade. V-Tune able to live through it all.
GG.
Yeah,
Finishing up that Satanic. Right at that perfect time, always want to fight, gets the false promise off, and they were so close to getting him, but